internet. I'm going to be looking at the brand new Wu Assassins, which landed last week on Netflix. And what is it about? Well, it's about a kick-ass motherfucker in the guise of what's his surname again? Iko Uwais, who's an Indonesian martial artist best known for his work in Raid Redemption 1 and Raid Redemption 2. So the guy really can kick the shit out of you. He'll knock the enamel off your teeth kind of stuff. Not so good at the acting though, and I think the reason for this is because he doesn't really speak English, so it's difficult to sort of get subtle nuances out when you don't know what the fuck your co-stars are actually saying. Anyway, so the nice thing about this is it really is a great series for representing Asians, because the majority of people here are Asians. I think there's only one or two who are not, or three. And one of them is actually from, what's her name again? She's from Vikings. Catherine Winnick, is that right? Anyway, I think, she's quite great in this too. So the storyline over here is a chef who is played by our friend Iko, also known as Kai. He accidentally pisses off the triad, which is what you do apparently in San Francisco, and then while running away from them, hits a lady played by Celia Yu, who suddenly drags him into another world or realm between heaven and hell. And sort of says to him, look, dude, you are actually the one, and you are here to restore balance. Actually, no, you're here to kick and kill 5 warlords. Now, he is imbued with powers, that's right, that sounds good, better, of 1,000 monks. So yeah, you would think that he can kick the shit out of absolutely anything. He gets owned all the time though, even in sort of small scuffles. Anyway, and he's been given a mission. He has to kill 5 people, and these 5 people are also powered by water, fire, that's right, earth, wind, and metal. Each of these, of course, each of these people are able to do certain things. Usually the manipulate of their power. You can manipulate fire, manipulate water, etc. For some unknown reason, the dude who control, or woman, because they jump bodies, who can control metal, can also control people because of the metal in our bodies. Surely that would have made more sense to have the person who controls water controlling people, if that's the case, since 80% of our bodies, are made up of water. We are not made from 80% fucking iron. I can tell you that right now. There's some people probably think that they are. I see them in gym all the time. Anyway, so this follows Wu, who is a chef, and he keeps going, I'm a chef, damn it, because he doesn't want to kill people, which makes sense. You don't want to kill anyone. The first person he wants to sort of head after is the dude who controls fire, who's played by Byron Mann. He's Uncle Six, basically the leader of the triad, and he doesn't want to kill him, but at the same time he does want to kill him because he's a bad guy and he's a good guy at the same time. Really, really strange. I'm not going to go too much into plot details here because the plot is so fucking over the place, it's ridiculous. So what can I talk about without the plot? Okay, the acting, and I hate to say it here, as I mentioned just now with Iko, the acting across the board is pretty bad.
What's this got to do with me?
Like really, really bad. I think the best person in this is Catherine Winnick, is that right? She is an undercover inspector who can also suddenly do kung fu and kick people's asses. She's actually from Vikings. She was Ragnar's wife, I think, in Vikings, so she's quite a good actress. But the rest of them, not so great. I mean, that is one of the reasons why I like the show, but I was chatting with my friend Trevor, who also finished it around the same time as myself. We kind of binge-watched it on different countries, different hemispheres, as a matter of fact, him in South Africa, me in England. And we kind of came to the conclusion that the show it's fun. It is definitely fun, but you really need to pull back your expectations of what it could be, as it could have been, a really, I suppose, realistic, or I don't know, not realistic, serious. I think is probably the word I'm looking for. It could have been a more serious approach to a really great concept, and had really great CGI. The CGI is terrible. It looks like my brother was probably using Photoshop or some shit like that to make it really bad, yeah, so if you have to suspend that sort of expectations, like really suspend it, put it in a box with a cat in it and bury it and throw it in the sea and then bury it on top, I don't know, something. So you can enjoy it if you don't mind the bad acting. It's hammy as fuck. The plot and the script, my gods. I actually wrote notes, I should probably find them, but I can't be asked. Some of the lines in this are just so bad.
Chop chop.
You heard the woman. Chop chop.
Like it's a child that wrote this. Apparently it's actually 2 60-year-old white guys who wrote it, which is really just wrong to see this as an Asian sort of themed thing. I mean, it's like really bad. Like, you're an asshole. Yeah. It takes one to know one. I'm not joking. That is actually said. Or something like, you're a dick. No, it takes one to know one. It is bad. I did like the fact that they spoke in Chinese, which is quite nice. There's one scene, and maybe someone can help me with this, when you have Six who's talking to his men, of his henchmen, and he tells them to go and do something, and they all go Japanese. That is a Japanese word. It means yes in Japanese. Chinese has a variety of ways of saying yes, but the most normal in that context would be 是, which is yes. So having a Japanese word used by Chinese people, that's a bit of a fuck up there. I'm really, really wondering why they did that, but anyway, they did. I don't think much thought went into it. Go in on it. Anyway, sorry, something messages on WhatsApp. So yeah, the plot is pretty bad. We have a later in the series, about halfway through, we have the big bad who is played by, oh god, where is he now? He's a Scottish guy, Tommy Flanagan, that's right, who is a big boss. He controls wood. I think that's it. He controls wood. One guy controls earth, and he's there very, very quickly. Gone. Another person who controls wood, who seems to control everybody else around him. So he has all the henchmen are under him, kind of story. I'm also really confused again, going back to the person who controls water. There's a scene where you first introduce the character, and she's sitting playing a 14-hour poker game in order to get a piece of brick to open up a portal. And then she kills the guy. It's like, why don't you just kill the guy and take the brick in the first place? Why waste 14 hours of your life? This is the problem with the show. If you think about it, like if you turn your brain on and you don't have it sitting on simmering jelly mode, I like that, simmering jelly, TM, that's mine. If you're not simmering jelly in your brain the entire way through the show, you're going to hate it. You can turn it off, you're not going to come back. It's sitting on, I think it's on 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is still a lot more than, Batman vs Superman. But this is a pretty bad show. It's really fucking bad. The ending made zero sense. It goes back on itself so bad, like the last, and oh, I know this is going to probably get the whole internet after me, but Celia Yu, the one that basically she's a sort of mentor to Kai.
I'm just a chef.
No, Kai.
She is the most annoying fucking character on the planet. All you want to do is hit her, and it sounds so bad, but it's a smug sort of like, I know more than you kind of story, but it doesn't actually work with the character. So I don't know why they got the character to do that. They really gave some of these people bad lines, and I think one of the worst things it had me crying with laughter is when we have Kai. He finds out something, loses his mind, but he's a chef, remember, don't think he's a chef. He keeps saying, this is not my responsibility, I'm a chef, and he's the same expression the whole time. And there's a moment where he's cutting stuff, you're like, okay, cool, new scene, he's cutting vegetables and whatnot, and he starts like screaming, he rage cuts. Like, my life, why the fuck, and it's like 2 minutes of him. I think he flips the desk or he throws the food off on the floor. It was just ridiculous. It's like, who came up with the concepts of this? Seriously, you have a guy who's a chef and he's also the kick-ass 1,000 monks inside him, and now he's slicing food and raging and stuff. This was really ridiculous. This is the best way of describing the show. Is it's ridiculous, but it is also fun. As I said, if you put your brain in simmer mode, I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, I'll give this a 6.5 out of 10. It is worth watching. It's a great thing to sort of put on in the background for an hour or two. The action is brilliant. That's the only thing that actually saves the show. I wouldn't have bothered watching it. The action is superb. It's violent. It's gritty. It's very much like the. I think they actually got Iko Uwais. He actually, I think, helped choreograph a lot of the fight scenes, at least at the beginning part of the series. I think it's 10 episodes. 8 episodes. Sorry, 10 episodes. The reason I say this is because the first half, the action is brilliant. As we sort of get towards the second half, where there's a little more magic going on, I'm not sure if they shifted choreographers. Maybe the choreographer was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, I can't take this serious, and pissed off down to the pub. I would have. But it just gets very shaky cam towards the second half, and you can't see shit. You can't see anything that's going on, which is a shame because the action was pretty damn good up to that point. So yeah, if you like good action and your brain going silly for a couple of hours, give it a shot. But just do not expect anything like Kill Bill. Okay, this is dumb, goofy shit. Catch you later.